I also wanted to do a video today on how can we help people. So I started doing coaching. I did a year's course and I started coaching on taking people back to their truths. And then I stopped for a bit. I still do coach some people because I've just had them from the beginning, but I just stopped taking on anyone because everything was radically changing within me. And I was evolving and growing so much over the past few months that I was thinking maybe the ways that I was doing things weren't really as helpful because of things that I was doing in my own evolution. I started to see things differently. So, for example, whereby in the past maybe I thought it was a great idea. You know, you learn something, you're excited by it, and you want to teach others, you want to tell others, you want people to see things the way you see them. And then I started to realize that it wasn't actually that useful. And, you know, even in the past, I used to do readings for people. I used to, you know, be pretty connected and I used to have readings. And then people, you know, would keep coming to me and they'd almost get dependent on me to direct them in their own lives. And I did try to kind of steer people into their own power by trying to tell them their patterns and what they could do to change their patterns. But even still, something wasn't quite right. And then, you know, lately I've come to a lot of conclusions and completely changed and stopped all of that. I mean, even in the past when I was doing it, you see, like you can say to somebody, oh, I don't think that relationship's right for you. Like, don't bother with it. And thing is, you might be right. You might have really tapped into your energy and seen that relationship isn't right for that person. But if they listen to you and they don't have it, then they might have missed out on a whole wealth of growth that their soul wanted them to experience. You know, our own souls know what we should be doing. And I completely put my hands up and say I've been really guilty of telling people what they should do. And that's not really the right, you know, the right way to help somebody find their power. You know, now I'm much more interested in trying to find ways to help people find their own source of power, because anything where somebody's reliant on you or dependent on you sort of makes them powerless and you powerful. It kind of puts them in a victim mentality of not being able to kind of heal themselves or fix themselves or know what to do with their lives or what choices to make with their lives, or you know, all of these things. And then the other person ends up like being a savior, like, oh, I'm going to go and save this person and heal them, or I'm going to go and save this person and I can tell them, you know, what direction to take in their life and what job to have. And I just don't find this beneficial because it's just creating this dependency. So now when I try to think, how can I, you know, help people, I think, or not even help people, how can I, you know, what can I do? Like, what, as a, you know, what's my soul role? You know, what can I do? Because I feel guided to kind of coach people. And now I don't believe in healing people and I don't believe in, you know, telling people what to do or guide them. So how can I, you know, participate? What can my role be? And I really think that it's about empowering people and helping them to kind of help themselves. You know, it's like when they say you can give somebody like 1,000 fish or you can give them the fishing rods to go and get their own. It's that kind of thing. You know, if someone's coming to me to make decisions, then they're just becoming dependent on me and they're not really evolving. You know, we all have every ability that anybody else has. It's just about learning to turn them on and to switch them on. And I know that it's quite easy to say, yeah, but sometimes you need that if you haven't switched your own on yet. And I used to think the same as well. But I've kind of changed my opinion on that, because actually when you're still doing that and going to other people for guidance and for healing, you're not really kind of strengthening your own. It's only when I stopped all that that I really, really started to connect to my own powers. And for a bit, I was really lost. I was like, I have no idea. I'm so lost. You know, I stopped going because I realised that it wasn't right for me to progress further, to keep going and seeking advice. But I had no way. It's like my own Noah had actually reduced since when I even started waking up, because it just wasn't being exercised. It's like a muscle. And because I'd stopped exercising it and I'd been relying on other people, or, like guides, or, anything that just wasn't my own higher consciousness, I sort of lost the ability to use it and to tap into it. So it took me a while of just being really clueless and floating, and it's only just really strengthening and growing now. So I don't know about that. I think really that important thing you can do is to help people access their own and help them to heal themselves. Because even with healing, you're still entering into kind of a program and a dynamic of thinking someone else can heal you, and thinking that you can heal someone else, when actually, we all can heal ourselves. And by helping somebody or guiding somebody to be able to heal themselves, it's such a bigger gift than healing somebody. So they have to keep coming back to you and being dependent on you to be healed, because they feel like they can't do it themselves. So the way I feel about kind of offering guidance is so different now, and it's probably going to evolve and change constantly. I have no problems with saying things that I've done. I think differently now. That for me is evolution, and I love it when I see people kind of change and grow and change how they see things. To me, that's really powerful. The person I was a few years ago is different to the person I am now, completely different. And there's loads of stuff that I did or said that, I don't resonate to now or agree with. But that's part of evolving. It's part of working through our programs and our templates, And that's why unconditional forgiveness is great, because it's accepting that everybody has programs, and that's not who they are. Their identity isn't who they are. Their programs aren't who they are. Who they are is a soul. And once they shed their programs and their identity more and more, they're going to change. So that's, why we can be unconditionally forgiving, even though in the moment we don't have to kind of resonate with everybody, or even really, want to be around everybody. So yeah, for me, I just feel it's a really important way to sort of guide people into their own truth. Anything that's going to make someone dependent, I feel, isn't helpful. And that's how I feel about things right now. So I think that when you go to somebody for kind of healing or help or advice, it's like, am I dependent on this person, or are they helping me to grow? And I want to kind of ask that with everybody as well that I coach. Like, am I helping somebody into their own power, or am I just getting somebody to be dependent on me, and they'll fall apart if I'm not there anymore? Because that's just not healthy. And it's quite easy to get those kind of dynamics as well going. And I've seen both sides of it as well. And it creates this kind of dependency that if you ever disappeared, they'd fall apart, and vice versa. Like, oh my God, how am I ever going to get the truth if this reader doesn't come online? And oh, how am I ever going to heal if this person just stops healing? And that's what I'm trying to move away from big time right now. So it's why I kind of paused doing everything, because I was just like, that's not, I always try, and I'm not here to in any way try and do things to just make money. Obviously we all love money. Money is an energy, I would love to have more of it. And I don't see it as a bad thing, but I'm definitely not ruled by money. I'm ruled by integrity. And then if money follows that, that's awesome and lovely and amazing and great. And I don't have a hatred for money at all. Have a great love for money. It's fantastic. It helps you to, even do so many things. But then, I'm not ruled by it. I don't need it. So I think that's a really good place to be. And anyway, I'm deviating now. And yeah, I'll be back in a second.